science believed that what he was going through at that point was a serious heartbreak. That was why, and that was the highest kind that comes from the highest kind of fear and torment. Highest form of fear and torment, that his blood, his sweat was like. So if you, when you sin, you feel that kind of guilt. Imagine Jesus now taking your guilt. Imagine, let me say, he took this guilt of 10 people. He didn't just take the guilt and the pain and the sin of the 10 or the 12. He took the sin, the pain, the guilt of all that has existed. Jesus was said to die 4,000 years after creation. So imagine the thousands, billions, trillion people that have lived on the surface of the earth, over 4,000 before his death. Not just the past. Imagine in his generation, do you know how many people that were living? Even to the sin of the before, even your sin, he has taken away the sin, the guilt. If you could feel that way when you sin, imagine what Jesus was feeling in that time. So the essence that he went back to his disciples, why don't you even watch for me, with me, just for 1 hour? That is, Jesus was so much in pain and torment that he was looking for prayer support. At times you'll be going through some things and you call somebody, please pray with me. Jesus needed God. Became man. God that became man needed the prayer support of his disciples. Couldn't you watch with me? It came the first time, the second time they were still sleeping, and the third time, God that decided to come to die. God that decided with the Godhead, he was now negotiating with the Father. Father, and this cup, can we renegotiate? God, Jesus was like, can we I don't know, can it be done? And he said, nevertheless, not my will, but your will. Father, and this cup, can we renegotiate? God, Jesus was like, can we I don't know, can it be done? And he said, nevertheless, not my will, but your will. So at a point in time, the Bible makes us understand that the Godhead were not in unity concerning one situation. And the Bible said the scriptures cannot be broken. But the word himself wanted to break the scripture. If Jesus had changed his mind at that point, the salvation we are enjoying now, you will not be enjoying. If you understand what Jesus went through, you will not live. You will be like Paul. The life I live is no longer mine. Then you will understand that your life is not your own. And few moments later, Judas and the other guys, they came around. They came around and he betrayed Jesus, and the torment, the beating. Imagine from that midnight when they came to meet him, they started beating him, scourging. Now, when Roman Empire, they want to scourge a criminal, this is what they do. They tend to tie the criminal on a pole, just like this pole, naked. Your Jesus was crucified naked. Jesus was not putting on anything. Can I have that picture, please? Jesus was crucified naked. They stripped him of his garments. This is how they tie criminals. This was how your Jesus was crucified. Sorry, was being scourged. And can I have the picture of the whip? Okay, it's already there. See, this is the example of this kind of whip. Can somebody come? Let me test it on you. No, just this one. Not with your clothes on. Yes, you will remove your clothes. No. This was not what Jesus suffered from. The one Jesus suffered from was this. There were piercing of broken bottles. Broken bones. Sharp objects. That by the time, and it's very long, by the time they give him one like this. Come, Abel. Come. So, by the time they give him, no, I'm not saying you should. By the time they give him one like this, it will turn. It will come like this. Let us say he's not putting on anything. By the time the whip stick to his body, by the time you draw it, imagine the kind of tear. Imagine the kind of pain you went through. And it was not once. According to research, the Jews believe when a criminal is being caught, they flog him 40 times. But they don't end up flogging them 40 times because they tend to die. So they give them 39. But the Roman Empire, they don't wait. They don't even wait for that 40. They tend to scourge a criminal, to mutilate him, to disfigure him. So by the time they are done with that criminal, you will not even recognize him. So by the time they were beating Jesus, some pierced into his eyes, some his neck. Imagine before his mother, before his disciples, Jesus was not a celebrity. Jesus was God. Is God. So before his family, before everyone that he has healed, he has done good. How God anointed Jesus Christ of Nazareth, that he went about doing good in the presence of those that he was doing good for. They were even dragging his mouth. Come. Jesus was a man that had beards. The Bible said they pull his. You see, I've not even started though. They pull his beard until it's removed. Our revelation, I got to know that even when they were scourging him, and he was looking at those that was spitting at him, scourging him, and he told them, "I love you." Was telling them, "I love you." This was not written in the scripture. For the sin of your word. Okay, can Sister Agnes please come? Bro Joe, please come. Oh, sweet Jesus. Imagine these two people are couples. Come. Imagine these two people are couples. And what sin can imagine your wife doesn't listen to you, your wife she gave anyhow, your wife she in fact you are tired of everything about her. Now imagine one day the government decides to take her to imprison her, stuff like that. Will you allow them to take her, or will you tell them to take you instead? Will you allow them to take you instead? Or you allow them to take her? No, she has not been giving you peace. They should take her. That is human nature. Imagine your husband is a notorious guy. They should take him. That's what Jesus, thank you. That's what Jesus did for us. That even when we were yet sinners, he came and he died. This thing is not, I just need you to understand, this is not laughing thing. When I was understanding what, if the Lord can open your eyes to see what really went through, what really went on that day, you will not be able to stand. You will be full of tears. You will not be able to take it. They mutilated Jesus. They spat on him. Jesus knows. Jesus did not just suffer physical torments. Jesus suffered physical. He suffered emotional, and he suffered spiritual. The physical torment was the beating. In fact, it has never been written in history in the Roman Empire period that they will scourge a criminal and still crucify him, because they consider scourging as a death sentence. Because by the time they are done with that criminal, in a record, by the time they are done, it is only the bone, the skeleton that will be out there. The fluid that keeps the man alive, that is, the man can die from bleeding. So they finished dealing with Jesus. Imagine Jesus had body like me. They finished dealing with Jesus, and what they were seeing was like Jesus that has fasted for 40 days, skinny person. All that was left was nothing. So they did not just scourge him, they decided to crucify him. On a norm, when after scourging, the person has no more strength, the person has nothing left, but they still gave him the cross to carry. After scourging, and it took like over 60,000 miles or something, until that guy came to assist him with the cross. So after scourging him, and he had no strength, he has not eaten. It was from the Passover the previous day. He left. So after dealing with him, they gave him the cross to carry. Note, all his bodies are peeled. How will he be able to carry a wood in fact, if somebody touch the surface of your injury, do you know you will shout? So he got to Golgotha, and Golgotha is said to be where Adam was buried, and that's why it was called Golgotha, which means the place of the skull. And it is said to be the center of the earth. The worst kind of death is separation from God. And that was what God told them in the Garden of Eden. The day you eat therein, that day you surely die. It is not the physical death. It is separation from God. So Jesus, after going through all this, he suffered, he died, and he was carried. It was when he died, the veil, the curtain tore, and his mother carried him and wrapped him, cover his nakedness. Imagine you having a son, a child that you are always proud of, a son that is like your breadwinner, and they decided to mutilate him. They decided to embarrass him, to deal with him this way. That alone is enough to kill that mother. Have you ever asked yourself, where was Joseph when all this was happening? Have you ever asked yourself, where was Joseph? The Bible never said anything about Joseph, because it was not recorded. I believe it was because of that pain because Joseph died before that time. Joseph died before that time. So I believe because of that agony, probably God knew he was not going to be able to take it. God decided to take him home before that time, so that he would not witness what his son. So, are you going to make the suffering of Jesus to be in vain? He was taken to the grave, and the third day He resurrected, and he didn't even allow anybody to touch him. He said, "I've not gone. I've not presented the blood." Even while in it, because of time, I will not be able to say a lot of it. While in the grave, he left captivity captive. That is, he went to hell. He went to preach. He went to paradise. Those that have, he went to preach, all those your prophets in the Old Testament. He went to preach to them, and not all the people that lived then believed him, but the ones who believed him, they were taken.